What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we talk about season 9. It's finally here, so let's get into everything new this week in the crew. Let's go. Now, this week's everything new video is different than normal. This is a seasonal update. This is one of the biggest updates the game has ever had, arguably the biggest update the game has ever had. And so this week you're going to see a lot of different things, and this video is jam-packed with stuff. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. There's a lot of new content compared to previous weeks, namely the NASCAR playlist. The NASCAR tour has 10 new events for you to try out. They start like this. It is a little bit of a story, sort of like a, not like a rags to riches, but sort of like an entry-level driver to a, you know, fully NASCAR in the stadium type driver. So in these events, you're going to be sort of learning the ropes. First one kind of teaches you all about the mechanics and so on and so forth. Not to spoil anything, but there's like a rival, and yeah, you'll get it. I don't need to tell you about the story, but anyway, you got the 10 events. Some of these events pay really well. My overall opinion on the NASCAR playlist is that it's not the worst playlist in the game. It's also not the best playlist in the game. It's sort of in between. I think the races are a little bit longer than we're used to seeing with you know, the playlist races here in Motorfest. Generally, I think they keep the races around 3 to 4 minutes, with the exception going to like 10 minutes or a really short one at a minute and a half. These ones are all like 8 minutes. they're all very long, and it's because you have to make room for the NASCAR mechanics. NASCAR is a long race. Like when there's an actual race, it's long. It's a couple of hours, and you have to have, you know, tire wear and to provide a sort of authentic NASCAR experience in an arcade racer like this. You have to, you know, give the car opportunity for, you know, tire wear, where you're not, you know, doing 3 laps only and one of them you have to pit. Like, that's annoying. You have to give enough laps in order for it to feel like you're actually, you know, racing in NASCAR. So you have the tire wear, you have the gas consumption, and you have like the car health, basically, like how broken is the car. And so managing those types of mechanics and sort of balancing the length of time for a race is a little bit tricky. I think they kind of nailed it, because you feel like you have to pit at some point, but you don't necessarily have to do multiple pit stops if you manage things correctly and if you can slipstream with the AI, or, you know, that type of stuff. So I feel like they kind of nailed it, but at the same time, in general, NASCAR is not like a huge like interest of mine. So when I go into these races, I'm not like the most entertained by driving in a circle. I think a lot of people will like this. I also think there's going to be an equal amount of people that don't necessarily like it. So for me, it's in the middle. It's not a bad playlist. It's also not an overwhelmingly good playlist. So anyway, let's move on to the side activities. There's 13 new side activities, which include some photo ops as well. Photo ops are great for money, and also XP if you want to attack those. We have new challenges as well that go with the playlist. That's 25 new challenges that you can do. And we've got a brand new rivals board. This rivals board is actually pretty good. If you go to my money guide or parts guide, you're going to find out that there's a couple of things in here that are going to be really, really good for money and parts. So make sure you check out that video when you get a chance. And you've got basically, what is this, 11? You have 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 rivals to take on. These are actually just like trials, basically, action list events. You go through and you complete the actions and you beat the rival. And it's, you got a little bit of like narrative in there as well, talking about, you know, who the rival is and things like that. So it's kind of cool. It's all right. It's just that the action list type events are not really my style either. I much prefer like a race, basically, but it is what it is. I like that these are added. I like that there's new ways to make money, and so that's something you should definitely take a look at. Now we've got a new custom mode as well, and as you can see, there is a lot of events. Like literally every single, with the exception of Demolition Royale, you can't do that on the last one, or Monster on the last one. With that set aside, you basically have every single class, every single race. So that's kind of nice, I guess, if you're a custom mode grinder. If you're looking for prestige tickets, they just dumped a ton of opportunity for prestige tickets here in season 9. All right, next up for content is the Track Forge. Now this is the beta version of the Track Forge. This is not a completed one. I know that they keep putting this out there that it's a beta. To be honest with you, I don't feel like this is a beta at all. I think that this type of feature is extremely difficult to add to a game. And so the amount of like kits and things that you can put into it, I think are a little bit limited because of how much of an undertaking it is to add this type of feature. So with that, I think they're thinking of this as a beta. They want to get some feedback. They want to know what they should add or change or remove. And I think that's a pretty good strategy. I will be honest, it is super nice to see a feature like this, which is generally an end game feature for a lot of games, be added early on. And I know it's early on in quotes because it's been, 2.5 years, but the lifespan of a crew game is around 5 to 6 years. And so when you get a feature like this early, it is really, really nice, and they can build upon it. So let me take you into a look at the track forge real quick. So you've basically got authentic motorsports, you've got unleashed motorsports, and you've got coaster tracks. These are different categories of tracks, and they are using different kits to build. And when I say different kits, let me show you what that looks like. So we go to the creator space, we create a track here. You have two options. You can use a motorsports kit, which is basically authentic motor racing, like, on road, on a track with walls, very, and you can see some of the stuff in the video here. It's basically just motorsports. Coaster tracks are crazy. There's like no walls, there's magnetic tracks, there's loops and upside down and twisties and jumps and stuff that doesn't connect and all this stuff. There is a lot going on in the coaster track. I think the coaster tracks are going to be really fun, but basically you've got two kits. Now in the future, they have said that they want to add more kits to your arsenal, and I don't know what those kits could be, but they could theme it anything, almost like the playlist structure of the game, where you have all of these different experiences, all these different playlists. They could add that type of an experience to the track forge creator. Maybe there's like a Hot Wheels kit. I know I'm just throwing it out there because this reminds me a little bit of Hot Wheels, or like a Fast and the Furious kit, or like a Jurassic Park kit where it has all these different dinosaur elements or whatever. I'm just throwing them out there. It's stupid ideas, but I'm just saying you could have a bunch of different kits that you can use with various props and racetrack types. So there's a lot of potential here, especially because they've dropped this type of feature so early on in the game's life cycle. Now, I just want to take you real quickly through the ease of use when it comes to building a track, because I think this is important for everyone to know. If you're not planning on jumping into Motorfest right away and you're watching this video, you kind of want to see how this stuff works. So let's just take the motorsports kit and let's go on. Let's do a race. So the difference between a time attack and a race is a time attack does not need to loop. A race needs to have a looping race. So let's validate that. So let me show you the first thing. So this is one track, okay? Now you can imagine you got 8 cars on this starting grid here. So you can imagine how big this thing is. But let's just back out for a moment so you can see the overall size of the area that you can create in. Look at the size of this area. Like, you could make a monster track. This is one of the things that impressed me the most, is that they're designating this much space for these tracks. Like, you can go absolutely crazy. Now you do have a build limit, but it is very big. Like, it's impressive. So anyways, to create a track really quickly, you can use the fast build option. It's super nice, super easy. You just click the track that you want, and it'll give you another piece. Now if you want it to turn left, you just press left on the D-pad. You can press left again on the D-pad and it'll make it a different turn. Left again, different turn. Left again, different turn. So you can just keep turning left, or you can just press up on the D-pad and go straight again. So this makes creating a track really easy. You can just, go straight. You can change the straight to something that has a hill in it. You can actually add a super module, which is down on the D-pad. That gives you something like this. And then you can curve it around, and then straight. It just is so easy to build up. Obviously I'm just doing something random. I'm not like paying attention to what I'm actually doing, but you see you can create a track very, very fast with this type of fast build, and you don't have to think about it. You just do straight or left or right or super module or whatever you want to do. Now if you want to make changes to this, you can change the mode to selection, and then you can select a piece, like say this one here, and we can just delete this piece. Then you go to library and look for the piece you're looking for. So in the systems category, you have different starts. We want to have something that is a loop like this, right? All right, so now let's rotate it. You hold RB and, oh, I went up again. Wrong one. There we go. Connect it. It'll actually work backwards as well. So let me go back to the fast build, and we'll see if we can't connect this track. And then if you want to go back to like switching back over to this one over here, you can just select this piece and then change the mode to fast build, and it'll bring you back to snapping to this side of it as well. So this should work. Oh, it's too low. It's too low. We got a problem. All right, no problem. Here we go. Look. We go up just right there. Boom. Connect. Let's see. We got to have one that's long enough. Maybe we should. There we go. We got it. We got it. And this is my very professional, not time consuming at all track. It even has grandstands. It's got the Laguna Seca corkscrew here. Nice. Very nice. Anyway, you can see that it's very easy to build tracks here, and you have a lot of freedom, a lot of space. It is a very like open tool. All right, so once you have your track shape, you want to go through and make sure you have your checkpoints. So you hover over a track and then click module options, add checkpoints. There you go. And then you can do the same thing with every single module. So you just hover over it, add checkpoint. There you go. Do one over here. Maybe one right here. Maybe one right here. There you go. Now you got checkpoints all over this map. Now, when you're done with this, you can actually just test it. Let's give it a shot here. We press the menu button. We go to event settings. Want to make sure we have it correctly. I'm going to put it on racing. No restriction. You can change the game mode itself from race to time attack. You can change the AI count, the difficulty. You can say, you know, how many laps, rewind, nitro, nitro full at the start. We're going to do that. Instant nitro refill if you want to just have that on the whole time. These are all the modifiers here. This is all really awesome, you know, options to have. You also can set the mood and the music, all of that stuff. We're not going to mess with any of that. We're just going to go ahead and go for a validation test because we have our checkpoints and we have our completed loop. So let's just see how this goes. So as you can see, it's just like a normal race. You've got AI in here as well, and they're programmed to take the lines that you need to take as well. They've already got the racing lines established. Oh, we got the corkscrew. Get out of the way. But they're already programmed instantly to take the correct route. It even has a, like I said, a racing line that helps you learn how to take this course. Some of this banking as well, like see how this like these hills right here right before the bank turn, that stuff is stuff that you can change in the module options. So you can have it banked as much or as little as you want. And I made a lot of these turns flat here, or like natural banking, but it can be better than this. If you would like it to be more flowy or you want it to be more technical, you can figure it out. And here's the finish. We got to the end. All right, it's a whole minute. This loop was 1 minute. You can make it super long or super short. I only did 1 lap just for this video, but the nice thing is you get to choose. Now, once you validate it, it is ready for publishing. The one thing you need to keep in mind is your validation test time is going to be the time that someone has to beat in order to get rewards from your track. So if you want the track to be like super difficult, then obviously make the validation test like the world record to get it. If you don't want it to be super difficult, then you have to kind of like wait around at the finish line to make sure that your validation time is not super long. So you get to kind of choose how difficult your track is if you want. And then when you're done, you can publish it. You can take a picture of your track to make it for the track thumbnail, which is kind of nice. You know, if you want to just back out, kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. I kind of like the idea of going like super far back. Let me see if I can get it at an angle that I want. There we go. So something like that. I mean, that's not, it's whatever. It's kind of a lame photo, but it is what it is. And it kind of gives you an idea what the track is. Then you can name your track. They have approved words so that we don't have, you know, tracks like penis track or whatever. Like it's just, you know, we have approved words. We don't have to think about that. Anyway, you can do like, you know, the category if you want, like do racing. I don't know why I put Alpha Grand Prix in there first, but I want to go back to the first word here. We're going to take that off. Let's do racing. There we go. There we go. Validate. Anyway, that's it. You just name it and you take your picture, you confirm it, and then it's published onto the once you publish it, it's done. This is it. You get the share ID, you publish it, and you can't make changes to it. You can, however, copy the track and make changes to it and make a new track. So like if you go here, racing, you can actually duplicate this track and then that's an invalid track. So then you can click on it and then go and edit that if you wanted to, and then release it as like a different version of that track. So that's the basic rundown of the track editor. We also have some dedicated rewards for the track editor. You go up here, you have different titles depending on how many likes your tracks get. This first one is 10. I don't know how many it is for each level, but there's a brand new unique title here, Architect of the Future. So if you want to have one of the more rare titles, I would say it's right here in the track editor. All right, real quick, let's talk about the Grand Racing. Grand Racing has not really changed. The ranked season will reset, so we have a brand new ranked season, which means you're gonna have to climb from bronze 4 once again and get yourself up into the legend category in order to get all the rewards. The rewards look like this. We have a exclusive NASCAR outfit for silver. We've got an exclusive rim for gold, and then we've got the NASCAR outfit for platinum with the race helmet on top of it, and then the Speedway Ghost unique title, which, by the way, because of the way these rewards are structured and the fact that like a lot of people can actually get legend, it's not super difficult. I don't know that this is worthy of a unique title. I think the unique titles should be very rare, and like you have to do something extraordinary in the game, like spending an extraordinary amount of hours or being very fast, or you know, something that's a lot more difficult than just getting to legend. I think getting to legend for the most part is just about grinding the ranked mode, but that's just my opinion, and I know you guys are going to kill me in the comments for that, but it just is what it is. I feel like unique titles, there's only a couple in the game right now, and they should be maybe a little more difficult to get. You also get currency for each one of these micro levels, so the levels that are within each rank. So you have silver 4, 3, 2, and 1. Silver 4, you get some prestige tickets. Silver 3, you're going to get 110,000 XP. For silver 2, you're going to get 200,000 bucks. And silver 1, you're going to get 20 legend points. So this is a good place to get a little bit of like extra currency as well if you're going to be doing some Grand Racing. Outside of that, we really don't have a lot of changes. Not only do we not have a lot of changes in the Grand Races, but I also have not seen any NASCAR racing in the Grand Races. So I think they may have tabled the idea, or possibly maybe just are still working on it, trying to work out the kinks. NASCAR is one of those things that is, you know, the crashes in NASCAR are so prolific in real life that they wanted to sort of have that same type of feeling when you crashed in NASCAR in the game. And so because of that, it's just really easy to crash people out, and I think that's a recipe for disaster for Grand Racing. Also, you have the pit lane where, you know, you're coming out of the pit lane, causing traffic, and I don't know, I think people will be parked on the track because it's around, you know, it's a circular track, not like a time attack from one point to another. And so I feel like there's a lot of clowning that could go on. Hopefully they figure out a way to adjust that stuff and maybe put NASCAR in the Grand Races, but in a, you know, with better dynamic collisions, or, you know, or no collisions potentially. I'm not really sure how they would want to do it, but anyway, it's not here. It's not here. So we still have just a couple of modifiers. I don't know how many new routes are going to be here. We haven't been able to test this because we just don't have enough players on to start a grand race in this creators program. So it is what it is. All right, let's talk about vehicles for season 9, because there's going to be a lot of vehicles in season 9. This week we're getting the year pass vehicles, which are going to be the next gen Ford Mustang Dark Horse NASCAR and the next gen Chevrolet ZL1 NASCAR. Those are your yearly pass drops. Those are going to be available basically for purchase for anyone, because you're going to need these for the playlist. And those cars are not like official NASCAR branded cars, right? These are just sort of like the default version of them. There's another one that you can get that's going to be Toyota. So just to finish up the year 3 pass drops, you've got one for April, 2 for May, and 1 for June. I'm not sure if I can mention which cars these are. It does not say in this guide that we had, but you're going to get 1 year 3 pass car in April. You're going to get 2 in May, which in May RC cars are dropping, so you can imagine what those are. And then you have a June drop as well. So there's 4 months in the season and 6 cars involved in the year 3 pass stuff. Let's talk about the NASCAR stuff real quick. So basically, NASCAR is its own category. I think most of you guys probably knew that already. We have this cup car category. Let me just sort here so we can get all the vehicles. There are 17 cup cars in total. There's only one that's not really like a NASCAR looking car. It's this one here, the Proto Henson Custom. This is the reward for the playlist. But you have basically a structure to this, okay? You have 3 different models of cars. You've got a Ford Mustang, you've got a Toyota Camry, and where's the other one at? You've got a Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. So those are the 3 base models. Those cars are available for everyone. They are free. You just, purchase them with in-game currency, or if you're a year 3 pass holder, you'll get it for free as well. But basically, those are available for everyone. The remainder of all of the other NASCARs, all of these, you know, specific numbers, RCR number 8, Trackhouse number 1, all of these like actual branded partnered cars, these are all paid cars. These are cars that you're going to have to buy with CC, and they do have CC packs that are going to be sort of like a discounted pack for all of them. So let's say you want to just get all of them all together. The full pack is 168,000 CC, which actually comes out to about $17, something like that. And you can get every single NASCAR that's in the game. It comes with literally everything, all of it. It also gives you a NASCAR hoodie for your character, and I don't have a sample of that to show you, but basically that's how you get all of it. It's 168,000 cc. That's like the big pack. If you want to get just the Toyota Camry cars, all of the Toyota Camry cars, you're gonna get those for 98,000 cc. It's like just under 10 bucks, and that comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 cars and the NASCAR hoodie. In fact, all of these cc packs come with a NASCAR hoodie. The Ford pack right here has 3 different cars, and that one's 73,000 cc. And then you have the Chevrolet pack, which comes with 5 cars, and that's 120,000 cc. So the full pack seems to be the way to go in terms of like the value for cc. You get literally everything. That's 5 Camaros, 3 Dark Horses, and 4 Camry options, and you basically have all of the NASCAR numbers. So if you're a NASCAR fan, that's what you're gonna have to do to get these ones. Again, no one has to purchase these. They're literally just liveries. The difference between the cars is absolutely nothing. There's no performance differences between these cars. It is the livery is the only thing. So as long as you have the base model ZL1 and you have the base model Dark Horse and the base model Camry, you have all of the performance of the cars. Everything else is just livery. So don't feel like you have to purchase that, but that is how you get all of these cars. Now in total for the whole season, we're getting 31 new cars, and I think that includes all of the NASCARs as well. So that's what you're looking at for the season in terms of cars. I can't really talk about RC, but there's a lot of like RC stuff coming as well. So just kind of keep that in mind in terms of what the cars could be. All right, they did add a new Slipstream effect, and it actually comes with a sound, but it's nice because you can actually turn the sound off if you don't like it. I hate it. It's like a little whistle, like an air whistle, and it just it's annoying to listen to every time you're slipstreaming. The idea was to add that type of like slipstream feedback effect when you're in the NASCAR playlist. I know that it goes along with that, but anyway, if you go into audio and language and you scroll down to player vehicle slipstream, you can make it 0. I hate the whistle. You guys, if you like it, it's cool, but they also have these little air trail effects that go off of the car, and you can't turn that off, but it gives you a visual representation of when you're in slipstream, which I like. I think that's going to be important, and it seems like it's everywhere in the game, not just the NASCAR. So that's kind of nice to see, because I've been talking about, you know, trying to figure out when you're in slipstream and not. You just really don't even know, but now you do. Now there's feedback. All right, lastly, here is a look at the new island. This is the new playground space that we have, plus the NASCAR stadium. This is all really awesome, really cool addition to the game, and nice to sort of fly around and see it from the air. You can see all of the roads, all the little nooks and crannies here, but I'll leave this with you, and then we can end this video. right, guys, that is it. Go enjoy season 9 when you can. I know this video comes out like the day before, but if you're watching this after, go right now and download the update and go check out season 9. Track Forge, NASCAR, new cars, lots of stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.